You gotta have faith. Oh, you gotta have faith. Welcome to the Hopefulist with me, Wendy McClure. This is where we turn those nasty, negative thoughts into positive and work toward a happy, fulfilled life. Now, let's get started. Do you have George Michael in your head now? Because that's what I was going for. Because, you gotta have faith. One of George Michael's biggest hits, of course. Thank you for joining me today on The Hopefulist. Happy Monday to you. I hope that you are preparing to have a great week. And we're going to start out with the quote of the day. So when you get a hit on what's holding you back and realize what you need to do to move forward, act immediately. You are battling very deeply ingrained and up until this moment, extremely successful limiting beliefs that have been your truths for your entire life. If you hesitate when you get a knowing hint, you give those familiar limiting beliefs the time and space to take over again. So, for example, you're doing your workout and you're like, yeah, I'm going to keep doing this. I know I can do this. The next day, you get this feeling, why bother? Why keep this up? I'm never going to be able to keep up with it. Yeah, that is the very deeply ingrained, extremely successful limiting belief. So, when you have the urge to do something different, do it immediately to override those old limiting beliefs. How about that to start out the day, right? Sounds good. So, this week, we're going to be talking about faith. Faith is being able to believe something before you can see it. All your dreams are already out there waiting for you. And you just have to work toward them to bring them to you. But mostly you have to believe that they are there for the taking. Much like last week's topic on manifestation, you must believe what you want is possible or there is no point. You have the power to design your life exactly as you desire. I know this to be true, and I'm here to convince you. Sometimes it doesn't seem like you are getting anywhere with your dreams. And then all of a sudden, everything falls into place. When I was first married, we lived in a condo in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. I had already lived at the Jersey Shore full time, and I was hell-bent on getting back there. We rented some places over a couple of different summers the first few years of our marriage, but we came to a point where we had nothing lined up. I was nervous that summer was approaching, and I would be stuck in Pennsylvania rather than at the shore. There were a couple of incidents that led me to, let's just say, high frustration with our condo board, and I listed our place. Now, I really didn't think it was going to sell since the values had recently dropped significantly, and we needed a pretty high asking price in order to just break even. This is where the hokey stuff comes in. I believe the universe conspired to get me the wish I put out there, which was to move back to the Jersey Shore. We got an offer and contract within a week on the condo, just enough for us to walk away with no loss. Now we had to figure out where we're going to live, because I really didn't think it was going to sell, and certainly not that fast. Really was just a split decision to put the house up on the market. So I started looking in my old neighborhood at the Jersey Shore for some rentals. It was January, not the best time of year to be looking for year-round rentals at the shore. So we couldn't really find anything. I expanded my search to an area that was right before Long Beach Island, but still on the water. It's a neighborhood built around lagoons, so everyone's backyard is water. I was not that crazy about having to settle there instead of on the actual island. I was a little bit of an island snob, but we took a 2-year lease at a cute little house. Turns out, we loved it there. The chance to actually live on the water, yeah, that's so much better. Because on LBI, that's pretty out of reach financially to live on the water. So the fact that I woke up to water in my yard every day was a dream come true. One that I still do not take advantage or take for granted, that is, to this day. Now, I could take off in my kayak from my backyard rather than drag it across the road and down the block to put it in the water. It was also a great area to ride my bike around, and mostly we really liked the people and the community vibe. Before the 2 years was up on our lease, we decided to start looking for a place to purchase. Took a while, but we finally found a home that is perfect for us. I love our house, the location, our neighbors. If you've ever seen how close the houses are here, it's really important to have great neighbors. I literally could open up my window and say, "Excuse me, but do you have some Grey Poupon?" That's a joke. You get it? Remember that commercial? "Excuse me, sir, would you happen to have some Grey Poupon?" So what's my point? Well, it's that I put it out in the universe that I wanted to live at the shore full time. I didn't know how it was going to happen. I wasn't sure we would be able to swing it, but I believed it was possible. I knew that someday I would be back, and it happened so much sooner than I anticipated. It just seemed to unfold one layer at a time in very quick succession. Now, it has not always been easy. There have been some sacrifices. My husband commutes an hour and a half each way in order for us to live here. We had to scale back on our monthly expenses dramatically in order to afford the mortgage payment. Now, we are house poor, to be blunt, but when the pandemic hit and we couldn't go anywhere for months, well, there was nowhere else I would have rather been than here. And I'm so glad we put our money where we did. You know, if you haven't heard it in a while, my big joke always is that we're going to stay here until the bank kicks us out. We have managed to pay every mortgage payment thus far, though, so I've got a pretty good track record at this point. But what is it that you really want? What have you been waiting to do and are beginning to think will never happen? Is it about something like a house, an area to live, a particular job or skill? Speak it out loud. Tell the universe. I know you feel stupid. I know you think this stuff doesn't work. I'm going to prove you wrong. Just try it. Because that way the universe can then conspire to make it happen. But mostly you have to believe it. You can't just say it and go, "Okay, let's see how this goes. Yeah, I'm going to hold my breath." No, you have to believe it. You have to know that deep down inside, it's not only possible, but it's already on its way to you. Because think about it this way. Everything you want already exists in this world. You just have to figure out a way to bring it to you. Of course, a big part of this process is the way you speak to yourself. Are you someone who is cynical about things? Yeah, I was like that most of my life. Let me tell you, it really doesn't get you anywhere except negativity. Because you can't be a cynic when it comes to this. You have to stop telling yourself that you can't get what you want. You must tell yourself that what you want is coming and start preparing for it. Be ready when the opportunity presents itself. To go a bit further with the self-talk, are you kind when you speak to yourself? Because most people aren't. If you go around saying you will never be able to live at the Jersey Shore or wherever it is that you dream of, you likely won't. Just like if you tell yourself that you know you won't keep up with a healthy eating regimen and workout routine, you're not gonna. It's time to have faith and believe in yourself. Just because you haven't done it before or it hasn't happened before doesn't mean it can't. It will. You just have to have faith. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Self-talk is one of the most important things for you to change if you have negative and unflattering thoughts about yourself. There is no way you will find happiness and a fulfilling life if you are always saying how unreliable you are or calling yourself bad names when you do something you wish you hadn't. Most of this negative self-talk comes from a place of unworthiness and low self-esteem. Going back to the quote of the day, these are the limiting beliefs that you have had for your entire life. It will not change overnight. But you have to be conscious of when you do it. And that is when you can start to change it. If you think you could use some help in this area, I would love to work with you to pump you up and show you how your dreams are worth pursuing and how much you deserve to have all you desire in your life. It's called personal positivity training. Oh, yeah, it is. It's time to get you one. It's the absolute most. For the least. Was that some kind of old movie? It's the most. For the least. Something like that. I don't know. I'm a little crazy. I'm doing this a little later in the day than I typically do. So, I don't know. I'm probably a little giddy with lack of sleep. So, with that, I will cut myself off before I make a fool of myself even more so. And if you like this episode, please share it with your friends. It is a brand new week full of opportunities and possibilities. Go on out there and make things happen. And be badass, of course. You know I'm right here, always cheering you on. Thank you for listening to The Hopefulist. Now, don't you feel good? Make sure you come back next week. See you then.